Back in April, myself, Lucy from Trekitt Marketing and my boyfriend Ralph headed to Powys, Mid Wales for a micro-adventure to cycle in the new Specialised Fjällräven collection. A 101km cycle through the Welsh wilderness. Join us on our 4-day adventure. At the start of 2023, my boss approached me suggesting I'd be participating in a long-distance, multi-day ride for work, using the new Specialised and Fjällräven range of bikepacking gear.
Look at this quality footage here for you folks. Welcome to Wales. 5 degrees now, that's good. It briefly dropped down to 3, but caught up again. It looks very deceiving out there at the moment, sports fans. The sun may be shining, but there is a nip in the breeze. Nature shots, yeah. We got some more nature. Can't even see. Yeah.
With the route organised and planned by myself, with some final tweaks added from Steve, our buying manager at Trekitt, we were headed for Mid Wales, to be precise in one of my favourite places, Elan Valley.
Cycling friends. Cycling friends. What's that?
Those wind turbines. I think, don't quote me.
Don't quote us on this, sports fans, but
I think we go right past. I think we go near to them.
Those wind turbines in the distance, we should be riding past them. Some more dad cam footage. Traffic jams as well.
Little baby lamb.
Baby lambs.
Little baby lamb.
Nature shots. Yeah. We'll be camping down by there. Lucy says we'll be camping down by there.
The route I had planned was predominantly on gravel roads with some green lanes and bridleways through forests and open landscapes, with a hiker-bike situation included, and in total we'd be visiting 4 bothies along the way. It is an adventure after all.
Bike friends, he waved, yeah!
Specialised and Fjällräven have collaborated where Swedish walking meets Californian bike riding. Put it together and you've got head-to-toe quality kit that you know is going to last. We set off from the arch near the Devil's Staircase, dropping down through the forest, over the river, meeting our first bothy, Nansidian. Both Ralph and I commented that we felt like we could be in Scotland or even New Zealand, having both visited. It felt amazing to be experiencing this in Mid Wales, so close to home.
That famous saying, men first. Hello. Firewood. Glen Stag. Here's the master suite.
Comes Ralph, a rare species that he is, carrying my bike across the river. Oi, thank you.
After leaving Nansidian, I knew that between here and Nant Rees we had a hiker bike. Steve had warned me, but even with the warning I was still optimistic. You can't imagine how wrong I was. It was pretty steep towards the end, especially with heavy bikes weighing you down. Thank you to Ralph, who was an absolute gent in helping hike a bike with my bike and his bike too. Having made it to the top, we celebrated with a freshly ground coffee. Thanks to Millbank Coffee and Storage, Herefordshire, for the tastiest coffee. I highly recommend it, and delicious homemade cookie. Thanks, Mum. It was nearing 5 PM and we were heading into golden hour. We caught some of our favourite footage here, where we descended past an old Roman fort before, you've guessed it, heading back uphill, enjoying the peaceful sound of birdsong when we got to the top. Around the corner from Nant Rees, we used our Grail water bottles to stock up on fresh filtered water for the night and the following morning, ready for tea and breakfast. Nant Rees was tucked away in the woods with a new long drop loo. With the fire lit, tea on, beds made, it was time to retire for the night. We woke up at 6 a.m. and were out of bed by 6:30. It had been a night of broken sleep for the pair of us. With breakfast on, beds packed away and a fresh brew on to wake up our sleepy selves, we repacked our bags and bikes ready for a full day of cycling. Waving goodbye to Nant Rees, we were back on the gravel. It was a cold start with frost on the ground, but the skies were blue. We stopped close to the river to collect more water for our day and brushed our teeth, feeling fresh. Along this ride we met our biggest puddle yet and made our way round it to save our bottom brackets and dodge the soggy bogs. We hit the main road where we fueled up, ready to climb the number 81 Sustrand cycle route to Elan Valley. We were aiming for Craggock Reservoir for lunch.
Oh, look at that. Ding dong. I found some nature. There, look, nature. Nature. Moving, the nature's moving. I think it's time.
It'll be lunch soon as well.
Oh, take them from me. You have Haribos? Haribos, yeah? Change of cockpit and driver. How's that feel?
Amazing.
Amazing.
It feels so good. Those tired legs.
Tired legs.
Don't feel as tired.
That's good. We're at the top of, I think the worst like road climb we've got on the trip. We've stopped next to this very conveniently placed bridle path.
Our second night was to be spent at Lewis Comeback Bothy. We avoided the shortest route across from our Elan Bridge as it was a long stretch of boggy pits. No thanks. Our option was to ride to the bridleway up the road and take the high route, dropping down to the bothy to avoid wet socks, muddy shoes and bikes. The long way round was longer for sure. We wondered whether we'd made the right decision at the time. We stopped for coffee halfway to re-energise. We could see wild horses in the distance and a little baby lamb calling for its mum. Our descent down the hill was amazing. We arrived at Lewis Comeback Bothy. It was so picturesque. We lit the fire, made beds for the night and took the opportunity to swap sleeping systems around and try each other's kit. Before the sun set, we grabbed some drone footage here. The night began to draw in and it was time for bed. Another disturbed night's sleep. I woke up early to hear the noise of what sounded like glass clanging together. I figured by morning it must have been the wild horses coming down the hill like a cowbell. We rose on our third day, tired and a bit achy. The weather had turned to more of a mizzle with sharp downpours of rain. Time to grab our waterproofs. Day 3 in Bothy life. And today the weather is a little bit more moist. We've had rain overnight. It's just trying to rain now. Ralph's packing. We headed down the Elan Valley cycle route, stopping near Gareg di Dam, sorry about my pronunciation, for lunch, ready to climb up to Fjällräven Dam. We had been quite lucky with the weather so far. Yes, it was grey and cloudy, but it wasn't raining, thank goodness. As we rode around to Fjällräven Dam, it began to mizzle more, but the dam was so pretty, it took away the fact it was trying to rain. As we continued round, we met a huge pool of water from the river. Super fun with a Land Rover, but not something you want to send your bike through unless you want to spend a lot of money on bearings. We saw a little glimpse of Fjällräven Bothy in the distance. The ride today had felt like we were in Lord of the Rings, heavenly. Surrounded by mountains and in the depth of mid-Wales, we could see across the valley at this point 15 to 20 people in brightly coloured waterproofs heading down the hill. We figured we'd most likely have guests tonight with us at the Bothy. As we approached Fjällräven Bothy, we were greeted with the people we had seen in the distance, a group of students taking part in their gold DAV who were sodden and setting up camp outside in the rain. One of the mountain leaders had done us a favour already and started the fire. It was lovely to meet such like-minded people whilst out on our trip. We said goodnight to the students, having heard they were up and out for 7 a.m. Rising at 6:30, we could hear the students getting themselves together. At 7 a.m, they came in to collect water, the things they had left to dry overnight, and to brush their teeth. We saw a glimpse of sunrise before the torrential rain hit, followed by hail. I think it's fair to say we were both quite excited to be on the home straight today. After 4 days, you start to feel quite grubby, so we were both looking forward to having a warm shower. With bikes packed up, we said goodbye to Fjällräven Bothy, over the rock slabs again, and we were off.
Jesus, it's like a bloody ice rink.
The weather had cleared except for some wind, although I knew from here that it was back onto the green lane, then quiet main roads and country lanes back. We passed through a little village called Point Rigois, excuse my pronunciation, I've tried, passing an old petrol station where we stopped for a photo and video opportunity together. Our ride continued through the Halford estate, so pretty and highly recommend a visit. It's once named a paradise for the residents who lived there, and I could understand why. We ended our route back through the lovely forest where we managed to get some more drone footage and the classic shop next to a large amount of timbered wood. As you can imagine, over our trip we saw an array of wildlife: kites, wild horses, many sheep and Canada geese. It was such a great pleasure to get back to my van. We did it, 101 kilometres together.
I wondered what you were going to do.
We have to say a big thanks to Trekitt, Fjällräven and Climb On Bikes in Hereford for all your support and for making this trip happen. If you'd like to know which kit we used during our trip, head over to my blog to see our full kit list, route and what we took and used.